Jai Shri Krishna. So today is a Saturday, so you can see my black t-shirt as well. And today moon has entered in Kritika Nakshatra. And moon is very close to this Amavasya Tithi. Okay, we are talking less than a Tithi, close to an Amavasya. All right. So, and it's a Saturday. There is a Rahu energy as well as Saturn energy on a Saturday. So this video, I'm going to be talking specifically about Sade-Sati, the cosmic mystery behind Sade-Sati. Okay, so please watch this video completely regardless of your lagna, moon sign, etc. if you are interested in Vedic astrology. All right, let's go into the topic straight away because it's going to be a long video, but it will nail the details. That's the most important thing. See, everybody has a fear about Sade-Sati. Okay, now there are several misconceptions. Oh, I'm running Saturn Mahadasa, Sade-Sati, right? So that is an important thing. Saturn Mahadasa, Sade-Sati are different things. Mahadasa is based on your birth chart. Sade-Sati is based on your transit, moon transit. Okay, all right, we will look into it. So Sade-Sati means 7.5 years. Okay, and there is always a fear when you hear Sade-Sati. Okay, which is fair, right? Okay, how do you break it down? Whatever is your moon Rashi, an astrologer will tell you straight away, whatever is your moon Rashi, one Rashi before, one Rashi, your Rashi, and one Rashi after. So basically, if you have moon in Pisces, right, Sade-Sati will be starting for you when moon enters Aquarius, or Saturn enters Aquarius, 12th to your natal moon, and then on your natal moon, and then next to your natal moon. So it's 12 first, second, correct, on your natal moon, not from the lagna. Some of them say lagna also. That is a different thing. Keep it aside. But that is actually not the truth. The actual calculation, in a way, if you see, it's by degrees. Suppose we'll bring, right? So if your moon is in Pisces, your moon can be at 5 degrees, at 25 degrees. Will it be the same? No. So wherever is your moon Rashi, right, and the degrees, if your moon is at 5 degrees, let's say you add 45 degrees plus 45. See how many degrees it go to, which it will go to Aries, and you subtract 45 degrees also, right? It will go all the way to the end part of Capricorn, right? That is where the border is. So you have to add, in a way, 45 degrees before and 45 degrees after. 45 plus 45 is 90 degrees total. Okay, and Rashi is 30 degrees. So 30 times 3 is 90. This is the actual true math if one has to do it, right? But everybody will say, oh, moon is in Pisces. Here is your Sade-Sati. But you may not even see the result because of 30 degrees and different nakshatras in the Rasi. Okay, so is this the final answer? Is this what I'm trying to tell you? No, there is more. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, before we go to the actual decoding of the details, let me break down the misconception what people have. Okay, I'll break it down one by one. Transits from lagna or moon or both. The transits is always from the moon. It's Vidhi, Madi, Gati. Vidhi is destiny, lagna, sun energy. Madi is moon. Okay, Madi is moon, mind, right? Gadi, right? So Vidhi is lagna, in a way destiny, sun energy, because sun's race is coming, but it's coming on the lagna plus that nakshatra will be there in the lagna. That is Vidhi. Madi is moon, mind. Gadi is sun. I also say Sadi because if all three are spoiled, then your life is like Sadi, chaos, confusion. Okay? Okay. This is first thing, transits is from the moon, not from the lagna. Go look at the Ashtakavarga score, moon and lagna will be the same. Okay? Moon and lagna will be the same. It's like two wheels of a cycle. Okay? Moon and lagna will be 49 and sun will be 48. Okay? It's two wheel of a cycle. Both wheels are needed. In a way, when you're putting weight in the back wheel is more important than the front wheel. Even in the car, the back two wheels are more important than the front wheel because of the extra weight. Now, depending on where the engine is, the weight also would need the support. Yeah, but coming back, moon plays a very important part. Okay, all right. And I will give the crux of the story in the last, why we have to see the transit from the moon also. Why is it? I will tell you that. Okay, watch till the end. Okay, second misconception, Saturn is my Rashi Lord. My moon, my natal moon is in Makara and Kumbha. He is the house owner. He is not going to do anything wrong because it's his own house. No, wrong. Wrong. Okay? Wrong. Here is why it's wrong. Saturn has multiple roles. Think about dual role. Think about, I've explained this one. Think about there is a school, there is a principal at school. But the same principal, when he comes back home, he's a father, he's not the principal, and he's got his own children. But the same children are studying in the school. So at school, he will act as a principal. At home, he'll act as a father. So he has to have the same rules for everybody at the school, right? Even though it's his children. Okay, so in transit, Saturn is going to behave the same thing to everybody. Okay, but there is a small truth to what people say. There is a small truth. Because whatever nakshatras are present in Saturn Rashi, because Saturn is the depositor here, right, the house owner. So there is already a restriction for them. So Saturn Rashi is right. All the nakshatras look at it. Sun nakshatras, moon nakshatras, Mars nakshatras in Saturn Rashi. Uttarashada, Shravana, Dhanishta, Satabhisha, Purva Bhadrapada. These nakshatras are there. They already have that restriction because of the house owner being very strict already by nature. So their behavior is very different than the other 10 Rashis. Okay, so this is something you have to know. So don't fall into the trap. Oh, somebody will tell you, your moon is in Makara, moon is in Kumbha. Don't even worry about it. No. Okay. Third, Saturn is my yoga karaka in my natal chart because I'm a Libra ascendant, Taurus ascendant. Again, right, separate it out. This is basically on moon. Okay, and Lagna, yoga karaka, moon, transit, separate it out. Okay, fourth, I'm a Saturn nakshatra. Okay, person, meaning I got moon in Saturn nakshatra, which means my moon is either in Pushya, Anuradha, or Uttara Bhadrapada. So I should not have a problem. No, go and ask all these people. Go and ask moon in Uttara Bhadrapada people. They will tell you Uttara Tadi or Uttara Bhadrapada. It's the same. Ask them. They will tell you a year ago it was a nightmare till this year, February, March. They will tell you that. They will tell you. Let them come and tell you it's not. Okay. Ask them a couple of years ago, moon in Pushya Nakshatra people. They will tell you because they are Ashtama Shani. They will tell you that. Ask them 2024. They would be weeping through the nose Ashtama Shani they had 2 years ago. In 2024, ask them. They will tell you that. Okay. So there is no discount. There is no brownie point, cookie point for having moon in Saturn nakshatras. Moon in Saturn nakshatras are blessed. That's a whole different thing. But transit Saturn will still do what it has to do. Okay. The next is my moon is in, my natal moon is in Capricorn, Aquarius, in these nakshatras, which I already said, Rashi-wise, nakshatra-wise, both. Fifth one. Sixth one, right? Sixth one is, oh, I'm undergoing Saturn Mahadasa. Here, Saturn Mahadasa and Saturn transit are different. Mahadasa is from the Lagna, transit is from the natal moon. Right? Now, if you are Team B ascendant, Saturn Mahadasa can give you some good results, but the results will be slow. But if you are Team A ascendant, Saturn Mahadasa will be very difficult. Cancer and Leo ascendant, watch out for Saturn Mahadasa. Now, the most important thing is if you are undergoing Saturn Mahadasa, you have to do an uber focus on Saturn transits from the moon. You have to do, because the Mahadasa transit, the big lordship is there. Okay, you cannot discount it. All right. The last one, the seventh one. I have moon in Libra, in Swati Nakshatra at 10 degrees or 20 degrees where Saturn gets exalted. Right? So now I won't have it, right? No, I will give you the answer at the last for that also. Right? It's a misconception. It's wrong. Swati Nakshatra is Saturn's favorite nakshatra, Rahu's favorite nakshatra, Venus' favorite nakshatra. But that is all in the D1 chart. This is about transit. Okay, think about having exams every semester, every quarter versus the final exam, right? Those two are different things. Same thing. All right, let's look at the actual picture now. I'm going to decode where you not even have heard about this or learned about it. I can tell you 9 out of 10 people will say that. Okay. First thing, Saturn has two dual roles, like I explained. Father at home and principal at school. Assuming the father or the dad is himself the principal. So think of this way, in your Lagna chart, there is something called Adipatya Karaka, right? And then transit is a different thing. Transit you always see from the moon Rashi. Okay, all right. The transit role in a way is like a principal at school. Okay, he is going to behave what he has to do. Simple. Even if it is your children, if it is own children also. Yeah, okay. Second one, okay. Saturn is a karma karaka. Okay, good or bad, right? He will give both, but he'll give the bad results first. Okay, depending on the karma and the good deeds, right? Then only he'll give you the good result at the last of your good karma. Think about in Mahabharata, Karna, even though he was Dhanvir Karna, he still had to face. Eventually, in the last part, once he was wounded and he's fallen down, Dharma Devata himself comes, right? Everybody comes to protect him, but they couldn't protect him initially. Look at same thing, Saturn exalts at Libra in Swati Nakshatra at 20 degrees, the end degree of Swati, where Swati finishes, Visakha starts. He doesn't exalt in the starting part of Swati. End. Everywhere his result will be in the end. This is the most important thing people have to understand. All right. Now, there is also a very important thing, right? Why am I talking everything about Saturn transit today? You have to understand, Parashara Maharishi in BPHS has said the so-called when moon comes to an Amavasya, it is as malefic as Saturn and even malefic than Saturn. And we are coming close to that Amavasya energy, and today is also a Saturday. So I feel like I have to give this energy today, this topic today. All right. Okay. The next one, if Saturn is Atmakaraka in your chart, if Saturn is your Atmakaraka in your chart, he will give you all the teachings and lessons what you have to learn and the discipline. Okay, good or bad, you have to accept it. And when being an Atmakaraka is Mahadasa comes, it will be the most difficult one. And I say difficult because it will be like a teaching, right? It will be like molding you, discipline, right? But he will reward you also, right? That is also there. Okay. I will give the remedies in the last. So watch to the end. Okay. The next most important thing. This is where people don't know, people don't get it. I hope I break it down in a simple way. If you're not getting it, watch the video multiple times. Of course, you can give the comments and feedback. And also please share if you have heard this before, if you have seen this before, if you know this before. Okay, so it will help. But this is the truth, I'm telling you. In Vedic astrology, there is something called blocking energy called Veda. I have done a video on Veda Nakshatra already. That is different. This is specifically on Veda. Okay, blocking energy. So on planets, so what we're going to talk about is each of the planets has a specific block. Jupiter, Rahu is the block. See the benefic planet, malefic is a block. Jupiter, Rahu is the planet with a block. We know, right? Rahu, Sun and Moon eclipse, but that is true. But Jupiter is deadly here. Rahu will block Jupiter energy because Jupiter is Dharma, Rahu is Adharma. Shortcuts. Think about the Samudra story, how he went and had the Amrit by cheating, right? That is exactly Rahu energy. Okay, Jupiter, Rahu, the block. Venus, Sun, right? Venus and Sun. Okay, next is if you see Mercury, it's Mars. So I'm putting the benefic and the malefic blocking. For Moon, it is Saturn. Clearly observe for Moon, it's Saturn. Why Venus and Sun? Venus is about Kalatrakaraka, marriage, right? Sun is about block. Why? Because it's ego, and the fifth house is also involved with Sun, and Sun is also debilitated in Libra and Swati Nakshatra. But the most important thing is light. Venus is dignified light. beautiful bright light. Sun is malefic, like 100,000 kilowatt light where you cannot even see, and it's also got the heat. Venus energy is a beautiful energy. All right, okay. Now, so I explained all of it. So dharma, adharma, Jupiter, Rahu, right? Dharma, adharma. Here it's more like marriage versus me, myself, and ego involved, which is also light. Mars, Mercury. Mercury, right? Mercury is all about thoughts, strategy. Mars is no thoughts, no strategy. It's about action. So Mercury blocking planet is Mars. Okay, Moon. Moon, if you see, right, it's the speed. Moon is the fastest moving planet. Saturn is the slowest moving planet. Look at it. Both are in a way cold, right? Cold you can see, but it's a different cold weather, right? Moon is also the mind, right? And I will agree also here. Just the same way Moon loves its own 27 nakshatras, and the 3 moon nakshatras are Rohini, Hasta, and Shravana. It is difficult to keep up pace of Moon and Moon nakshatra people. I will accept that. Okay, coming back now to the point again. Blocking energy of Moon is Saturn. Blocking energy of Moon is Saturn. Understand this. The Amavasya Moon itself is malefic than Saturn in many ways. Amavasya Moon itself can act like a Saturn. So when somebody is born on an Amavasya, right, that moon itself will act as a malefic nature like a Saturn, whichever house it's going to form. There are some exceptions when it is in Aries where Sun is exalted, Taurus where Moon is exalted, Cancer is Moon house, and Leo is Sun's own house. When these Amavasya falls in these 4 houses, plus the 2 Jupiter houses, Sagittarius and Pisces, the 6 houses that Amavasya effect is reduced because of light coming from these houses, these 4 houses, 4 plus 2, 6 houses. Yeah, but Amavasya itself is a malefic nature. Okay. Now you know that Moon, right, travels in its own belt, which is the lunar belt, right? And when it travels from one nakshatra to the other, right, a lunar day is finished. So 27 nakshatras it finishes 27 lunar days. Okay, 27 lunar days it finish. Okay, so we calculate, if you see a nakshatra day, if we calculate 2 hours, it's be like 28, 1/3 of a day. That is what it is. But our days are 30 days or 31. If you take an average, 30 and a half. But there is a difference of 2.5 days, okay, between Sun and Moon calculation if you do. So keep that aside. On an Amavasya day, you go outside and see. It will be very dark so early in the evening. And there'll be very minimum light. Why there is minimum light? Why? Because the moon is without light. But where do we get the light then on Amavasya? It's the 27 nakshatras. The 27 nakshatras are also moon nakshatras. This moon story is moon married to Daksha Prajapati, right? In a way. So they are moon nakshatras. So that is where the 27 nakshatras are like light emitting diodes, LEDs I call. So they give you that light, right? Okay, right? They give you the light. On a given day, when moon is with strength, you're not able to see them because moon's light is actually overtaking that light or superimposing this small light energies, right? That is where you see the difference. All right, okay. Now, in transit, what do we see? Saturn is sitting as we speak in Pisces in Revati Nakshatra. Rahu in transit is sitting at Satabhisha Nakshatra. Ketu is sitting in transit in Magha Nakshatra. So these 3 nakshatras won't emit that light. From Saturn at least you will get light. From Rahu, no light. Ketu, little bit light. Right? You won't get light from these nakshatras. This is the fact. So if you're born with moon in Revati Nakshatra, if you're born with moon in Satabhisha Nakshatra, if you're born with moon in Magha Nakshatra, you will find your natal moon, right? You will find now challenges because of these 3 malefic planets. I'm not even counting Mars here. Okay? So in a way, if you ask me, the Sade-Sati 7.5 years is more like a calibration time, learning time, adjustment time, maturity time. But it is not that the 7.5 years is going to be difficult. This is the fact. There could be other reasons. Yeah, your Mahadasa or whatever it is, Antardasa, etc. 7.5 years is a lot of time. Please understand. So moon in Let's say this, you have moon in Pisces in Revati Nakshatra. Ask people in the last 2.5 years to them. They would have bought property. Ask them. They will tell you that. They will, moon in Pisces, right? They would have bought property in the last 2.5 years. Then why? You're undergoing Sade-Sati. No, 7.5 you should not have done. That is the point. It will give you, it is called Virayasani, right? When moon is 12th to your, when Saturn is 12th to your natal moon, right? That is called Virayasani. Transit Saturn 12th to natal moon, Viraya Saturn, right? Virayasani. So in Virayasani, it will still give you expenses. It will give you the money. It will make you do the expenses. Marriage can happen, child can come, job change, everything will happen. It is not that it won't happen. That you will have to see the promise in the birth chart, the Mahadasa, Antardasa, etc. The actual difficult time, the peak difficult time, will be approximately 14 months when the transit Saturn, right, transits over your natal moon. 14 months. Okay. Elizabeth Holmes, moon in Satabhisha Nakshatra. Saturn transited, she's got moon in Satabhisha. She's a Pisces ascendant. Saturn exactly transited moon in Satabhisha, April 2023. May 2023, she went to jail. She went to jail because she did wrong things. If she had not done wrong things, she would not have gone to jail. That's the important thing. But when transit Saturn transits over one's natal moon, it will create turbulence. It will create darkness. There's no light in the nakshatra. And I'll also tell you why it is important in a minute. Second important point is Ashtama Shani, 8th from the natal moon. So you ask right now, all moon in Magha Nakshatra people, they will be weeping through the eyes and nose and everywhere. They'll be weeping. Why? Because it's Ashtama. Okay, it's Ashtama. Right? The best way is look at whatever degrees you have, your moon is right now, your natal moon is. Suppose, right, I'm just giving an example. If your moon is 10 degrees, do +6 -6, right? And do the exact 8th opposite to the 8th one. So you will get what is the degrees where you're going to get affected. Okay? You see my point, right? So you can do exactly opposite and move to the next Rashi, that is Ashtama. Whenever transit Saturn goes to Ashtama. Now, why Ashtama? See, 8th is the difficult house in the chart. And the reason 8th is the most difficult because there's no light, lack of light, right? Saturn itself is a dark planet. Okay, no light. Okay, and when a planet like Saturn, who is dark, transits 8th to the natal moon, right, it creates more darkness. Already there's no light. That is where if you read BPHS, it says 2-3 important things. Wherever your moon is, before, after, and on the moon in your birth chart, there should be light benefic planets coming. And then there's 6, 7, and 8, which is Chandra Adi Yoga. Benefic planets should be there. That is the reason. Okay. People don't understand why the Chandra Adi Yoga is important. The full moon where you have benefic 6, 7, and 8 to the moon in the natal chart. The reason because of transit Saturn. Okay. All right. Next important thing we look at it is moon and 27 nakshatras. We know this. Moon married to 27 nakshatras who are the daughters of Daksha Prajapati. And wherever moon is sitting in your chart triggers Vimshotari Mahadasa. Okay, Vimshotari Mahadasa. Plus, you always see transit from the moon. And moon is the most important planet as it's the mind. Okay, in BPHS and so many books, it says that you can even use moon as the lagna if you don't know the lagna. Okay, all the yogas you have to validate from the moon, even if it is in the lagna. Okay, moon has the ability to change the fate of a person. That is why the free will also comes from the moon, the fate, the free will. Okay, and as a mind. Why only moon? Look at all the 9 planets stories, right? Chandra, Soma, was born to Rishi Maharishi Atri, right? Atri and Anusuya, okay? Soma. So he's a benefic, he's a grandson of Brahma, And I've done a video about it. Watch that video also. But in reality, moon got cursed by Daksha Prajapati, right? He lost everything, right? He didn't know what to do. So Narada helped him in a way to pray to Lord Shiva, right? He himself used his mind, right? Narada was a big part, of course, but he used his mind to pray to Lord Shiva, right? To get back that energy. He didn't go to Daksha to remove the curse back. He prayed to Lord Shiva, right? And then Shiva came to him and blessed him. And go watch the video I put about Somnath Jyotirlinga. And I've spoken in detail about the story of Daksha's curse and how Vishnu also comes and Vishnu balances it and removes the curse as well with Shiva, but balance it in a way that so that Daksha is also happy, Shiva is also happy, right? So the waxing part is Shiva's blessing, boon. The waning part is Daksha's curse. So moon was the only planet among all the 9 planets who could change the fate from being a malefic to a benefic again. None of the other planets could change or remove the curse it got. So moon is the mind. So if you understand how moon becomes the most important planet even after that curse, right? That is one of the reason moon is the madi, moon is the mind, and one can change the fate by the mind. That is why mind is so important. And that is why you also see the transits from the moon. All right. So I asked at the start a question and I'll answer that. And then I'll touch the remedies. Oh, my moon is in Libra at my time of my birth. And it's in Swati Nakshatra at 20 degrees or 19 degrees. Okay. And Saturn is exalted. It is Venus Mula Trikona Rashi and Rahu's Mula Trikona Nakshatra. Of course, I've clarified Rahu's Mula Trikona Nakshatra is Swati, not Satabhisha. There was a misconception about it as well. Okay, keep that aside. Now, what does all the Vedic astrology books, BPHS, for example, Brit Samhita, Varahamira, Jatakalangara, Chamatkar Chintamani, Bipin Bihari, all of them say when transit Saturn comes over natal moon in Libra in Swati Nakshatra. It does 2 things. World effects, personal effects. World effects, global trade imbalances, legal regularization, labor welfare laws, severe atmospheric windstorms, calamities, okay? Fall denunciation of kings as well, okay? Breaking down of massive corrupt organizations, sudden structural updates to technology and global markets, shaking up of global markets, okay? Personal effects, when transit Saturn comes over moon in Libra and Swati Nakshatra. Initial professional hurdles, okay, followed by massive changes. Rewards come last. Political business leadership changes, okay. Slaying of the false ego. Severe testing of relationships, right? It can be marriage, living together, etc. And developing absolute self-reliances, right? Mental stress as well. This is what it says. You can go and read all the books and see what happens when transit Saturn comes over moon in Libra in Swati Nakshatra. And I'm bringing Swati because, of course, today is Saturday, Saturn Rahu energy, but it's the nakshatra where Saturn is exalted, right? So one can say, my moon is in Libra and Swati. So ask moon in Libra in Swati Nakshatra people. 2013 and 2014 would be deadly for them. Tell them, ask any moon in Libra in Swati Nakshatra how 2013 and 2014 was. They will weep through the years. Why? Because Saturn was transiting at the time, the transit Saturn. It was going over the natal moon. I've explained all the details. Now comes to the last part. I didn't realize it's going to come to 30 minutes. Okay? Remedies. Whenever natal or transit Saturn comes over your natal moon or Ashtama, right? Get best health insurance. Don't compromise on health insurance. Okay? Second, Saturday becomes very important. It's a holy day. So avoid meat, meat, non-veg, seafood, eat little, be sattvic, right? Donate food to people and then you eat. No liquor, no partying, no sex, any of those things, okay? Help poor people, handicapped people. Saturn loves when you help poor and handicapped people, especially on a Saturday. Chant Vishnu Sahasranamam, listen to Vishnu Sahasranama, right? Pray to Lakshmi and Vishnu. And the last one is also the key remedy is, right, the nakshatra remedies I've done for each nakshatra, 27 nakshatras. Vishnu Sahasranama, there is each shloka which is got associated with nakshatra and pada. And you can use the nakshatra number and you can chant that. So these are the remedies as well. Yeah. Okay, I think I've shared everything what I need to share. I hope this was helpful. Please share your feedback and let me know whether this is the first time you're hearing it and how was it? Were you able to relate to what I said? Because this is a very different school of thought, but this is the actual information. People are touching at a very high level. Yeah. All right. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you and Jai Shri Krishna.